Hello, Aztec Nation. What is going on? This is the Sons of Montezuma podcast, a Kiss the Rings episode. And guys, before we even get into announcements, all right. Let's not get carried away here. Guys. Welcome for all you Aztec fans and maybe a couple of you Aggie trolls. We haven't seen too many trolls lately. I'm kind of surprised, but it's all good. A victory Sunday. The Aztecs have won. We want to thank you for joining this episode. And my name is Mateo. You can find me at Mateo San Diego on Twitter. You can find us at Sons of Monty on Twitter, X, Sons of Montezuma, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Of course, sonsofmontezuma.com. You want to make sure you are checking out all of our merchandise, all of our NIL merch that we have for the guys. I am joined with my two regular co-hosts as everybody's trickling into the chat. Very happy to see these two lovely faces. Glad you guys turned the Grammys off and are joining us. It is, well, you cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain this man. SD Sports Fiend. What's up, Fiend? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, man. Great win yesterday. Really exciting game. So can't wait to get into it.
If I choke a little, I got my popcorn. Ready. I'm ready. Because you came from East County to East Tahoe. Mr. Mike Tortolot.
Michael Tortolot.
How you doing, Mike?
Gentlemen, I was waiting for Fiend to use another word, the anti-melancholy today, but I guess we'll just have to wait till next week. By the way, what kind of popcorn is that? Over Redenbacher or Secret?
I'm over Redenbacher.
Okay. All right. I was looking at popcorn today at the store, and I was like, God, there's so much popcorn, man. That's it. That's all I got.
I don't know. I'm a popcorn guy, and I'm ready to see some fireworks between you guys. So,
do you go in waves? Do you get popcorn for a little bit, and then you're off it for a little bit, and you come back to it?
Yeah, it's not like an everyday thing, right? It's just every once in a while.
I get it.
When you got a victory Sunday like we do today.
Right. There's nothing like movie theater popcorn, though. I mean, that's the best.
Definitely.
Well, it was showtime at Viejas yesterday, guys. It was a great game. The Aztecs beat number 17 Utah State 81-67. We're going to get into all of it because, guys, we knew this was a big game coming into it. You got to protect home court, and that's exactly what the Aztecs did. It was a beautiful game to watch. Fiend, to sum it all up in just a couple lines, what do you take away from the game, from the victory?
I mean, it's exactly what we needed. This was a get right game. We came out flat against Colorado State, a game that I thought that we should have won. And this was sort of a must win. I mean, Utah State was first in the conference, only one loss. And so we needed to beat them to stay in the conversation for conference championships. Mission accomplished.
All right, Mike, I know you were watching it from home on the television set. What was maybe the general thing you took away from this game?
I mean, yeah, I text you guys. I'd rather be there, but I do get some good nuggets from the TV and stuff like that. So, we don't typically lose at home after a loss on the road. I think we won 30 home wins after a road loss, which is crazy. 17 straight at home, 10 straight at home versus Utah State. And Coach Dutcher is 54-6 at home overall as the head coach of the San Diego State Aztecs. I mean, that's, those are pretty impressive numbers. But like we said, playing on the road and playing at home are two different beasts this year in the Mountain West. We can see that from everything. Yeah, guys here steal a game here or there. But I think if a team steals 2 or 3 on the road, they're in a really, really good position to win the conference. I think Boise State's got 2 already. If they win 1 or 2 more, then I think they might be in the lead. But you defend home court and you try and snake a couple from the opposing teams on the road. And we have 2 big road games this week that if we can win those 2, I think I like our chances.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was a big one. So there's a lot of themes, I think a lot to talk about in this game, a lot of themes, a lot of highlights, headlines, whatever you want to call them. And I'm already seeing it in the chat. The number one obvious thing, my phone was blowing up as I got to the arena. I got there a little late. I was speeding on the freeway in my van. I had came over from Navajo softball's opening day. It was like this big festival they had going on at Lake Murray. It was really cool. Some of the Aztec softball players were down there actually representing, so that was really cool, really cool. Hopefully have some news on that very shortly. But when I got to the arena, I looked at my phone, it was like everybody's saying, okay, J Powell's getting the start as we see him throw it down. The starting lineup is probably the obvious thing that we could talk about first and foremost. Darian Trammell getting that start as well. So, when you guys saw the shakeup in the lineup, I don't think it was anything any of us were expecting. It's not something that Coach Dutch generally does. But Fiend, what were your thoughts in general? I know Mike brought it up. So, what do you think about it?
I mean, I thought it was the right move. I mean, you could tell in that Colorado State game when Dutcher threw that clipboard, he was looking straight at Elijah Saunders and Micah Parrish, and so he was in their dog. They were in his doghouse, and so I could see why he made that change. I mean, to send them a message, to give a couple other guys opportunities to see what they can do. And Jay Powell, I've been lobbying for him to have more minutes all year. I think he's just a great addition to the starting lineup. And the Aztecs are undefeated 6-0 when he plays more than 20 minutes. So, big minutes we usually win. So we do win.
16 points, Jay Powell. I know that's your dude. You said it from the beginning. And it's nice to see his game just really flourishing. Like you said, the last game, he didn't hardly have any minutes. So it's, I love SD born and raised with a little help from his friends. Ledee needed a pal to ignite the inside. And, when I got the text that he was getting the start, I didn't expect Parrish to also sit. I didn't expect that. I was thinking, okay, they're just going to bolster that front court. But Darian Trammell getting the start, inserting him back into the lineup. I mean, we're talking about just an absolute baller last year in March. Obviously the regional player of that regional matchup in the tournament. So, Mike, I mean, what did you think about when you saw Darian getting that start as well in the backcourt with Lamont?
I mean, Dutcher was going to find a way to get him back in the starting lineup. He started every game last year, and he started 86 and 92 games before he came to us. So if he didn't get hurt, he would have been starting anyway. So I think Dutch was just waiting for the right time to get him into the starting lineup, which I think he's great. I mean, wherever he plays, and I was a little interested to see Powell in there, but I think he's a good running mate with the D down low. Honestly, he's got nice vision. He's got good rebounding, acumen and stuff. So he didn't miss a shot either. So Powell looked great, and Darian is just. He took advantage of the situation, and Micah took advantage of being off the bench, man. Sometimes people need to be shaken out of apathy. You know what I mean? Not that he was, apathetic, but sometimes you need a good kick in the butt and say, hey, okay, hold on a second. Sometimes you just got to take reality for reality itself, and just be like, okay, all right, we need to change it up, do something different. Because Dutch hasn't changed the lineup very much, let alone two starters that he changed. I don't think they do it very often, except for senior night or an injury. But I just, even though we were 16-5, it just didn't. They didn't look. They kind of looked like they were just trying to get back in games, and they didn't I don't know. They just needed to shake something up, and I think hopefully this is the start of something where it's keep this lineup for a little bit, and Parrish could be like Mitchell off the bench in 1920 and just kind of be that spark, and I think maybe that's what he needs right now.
Yeah, I like Dutch being able to make those changes because, like you said, the guys may not be apathetic, but just to know that okay, if you play up to a certain point, you're going to be rewarded. I think that's a big thing as well, right? I mean, Powell has really been coming along. Darren has shown flashes, like you said, you know, is through injury that he really, really didn't get those starts to begin with. So, I mean, I love seeing that, you know, knowing that these guys, if you're going to perform, you're going to get rewarded and mix it up a little bit, right? He did say in the post-game presser, Dutch, he did say that, like, okay, well, we got Air Force next. So if we shake things up again, off of our scouting reports, like everybody needs to be prepared for that. So I love that message as well. I'm not really feeling like we should be dead set on the same lineup every single night. Whatever the scouting report calls for, I'm good with that, right? And in Dutch we trust. In Dutch we trust. So hey.
Yeah, I don't think he's changed this starting lineup's going to change for the rest of the year unless something happens injury wise. I would be surprised if it does, to be honest with you. You know, and the other thing too, dude, like at this point, the last 4 years, we've had 3 losses at this point in conference play. So this is not new territory to us. I was a little shocked by that because we finished XYZ, except for I think last year we only had 2 until the last game against Boise. But 4-3, 5-3, whatever it is, a lot through the past 4 years. So we're in territory we're very familiar with at this point in the conference schedule.
Yeah. A little bit more on the lineup shakeup, but I think the biggest takeaway for me is everybody really, really, really attacked on the defensive end. You know, when we see Utah State, I know we're looking at Powell get that breakaway. When we saw Utah State, everything that they were taking to the rim was being contested. Guys were coming up from all angles and making blocks. I know in the chat we're bringing up Bird. I mean, on the defensive end, just everybody was collapsing on whoever was trying to take it into the hole, whether it was Great Awesomer or Fiend. Who's their point guard?
Darius Brown.
6-year senior.
Yeah, he played 2 years with Terrell Gomez at Cal State Northridge. And, you know, he's a fantastic point guard. And he was actually playing really well in the first half. But Trammell and Butler just hounded him and Ian Martinez. And I think that was the difference in the game. Their guards, especially in the second half, just kind of wilted. I mean, Darius Brown played 40 minutes. Ian Martinez played 36 minutes. And so they don't have a deep bench. And you know, we just tired them out. Second half, they shot really poorly. And I think they were 5 of 21 combined. I mean, the Trammell and Butler did just such a bang-up job locking them down. And, you know, that's one thing that for Utah State would concern me, especially when they get to the Mountain West tournament, when you got to play 3 games in 3 days. I mean, those guys are playing those types of minutes, you know, how are they going to be able to, you know, to play that much in that short of a time? So just something to think about down the road. But yeah, I thought our guards did a great job of locking them up.
It's kind of funny. Everybody brought up the argument, you know, everybody we see online, they're saying, you know, even Mike said it. It's like our biggest concern was our depth of our bench, right? And knowing that Utah State, they can't match up with our bench. And when you're at home, the guys on the bench are going to play they're going to play so much better, so much more confident. And when you put Saunders back on the bench, you bring him in, you got Bird coming in to spell, you got Micah coming in off the bench, that hunger, you know, the attitude, you're going to come in, you're going to be impactful with the minutes that you come in on the floor. You're going to make an impact. And that's the way to go. I love it. I love what I saw. It's not like, you know, Saunders lost his ability. It just, I think in this scenario coming off the bench, like we said, you're coming in focused to make an impact at a certain area, whatever you see the game, the flow of the game is, and you can really pinpoint, okay, I need to do this. That's from my perspective, right? Mike, any thoughts on how our deep bench can be, I think, now moving forward with these guys with a little bit of a shift in perspective and attitude?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think we have a deep bench. We have 3 guys, and then Heidi, who's, you know, he's great on rebounding and stuff like that. He's still coming along offensively, but you know, if you have Saunders, Bird, and Parrish coming off the bench, I like that. You know what I mean? If we can get Heidi, you know, some points and some more minutes and more comfortability on there, I think that would be helpful. But you know, It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we're obviously starter heavy. So is Utah State. They didn't play very many guys. They had one guy off the bench that played 17 minutes, and then other than that, it was under 10 minutes. But just if we can play 8 deep and play solid basketball, and Saunders keeps hitting those threes from the side. It seems like he's a little bit better. He's more efficient from the side than he is from up top. But I think I liked how he played, man. Like he embraced the challenge and he came out and played well. So between Saunders, Parrish, Powell, and Trammell, the 4 guys who changed in the lineup, they had 50 of the 81 points. So let's keep it going, man. That's just one game. That's a small sample size. So we'll see how they play the next game, because, continuity and consistency is what you need right now. And, the other thing, man, we have 3 or 4 games on the road. So to lose, if we would have lost this one after a road loss and then 2 daunting high elevation games coming up, that could easily turn into 2, 3, 4 losses in a row. So, that was a big game to get. And then if we can steal one from Air Force and come into Nevada up here, I think we, that's all you can do right now is focus on those 2 road trips right here.
I continue to hear the stats, Fiend. What's going on with our boy Mike, man? All these he's turned over a new page in his podcasting with the Sons of Montezuma. Very proud.
He's a changed man, definitely.
It's maturation and just adjusting. By the way, it's crazy because Saunders has more 3-pointers than he has 2-pointers, so he loves to shoot the 3. So, that was a stat I heard on the thing. And you know what? The other thing too, dude, Jaden has 13 plus points in every game this year.
Yeah.
That's why he's an All-American candidate.
Yeah.
Mike, I really wish you would have been at that game. The atmosphere was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's the best, I think. Would you agree, Mateo, that was the best atmosphere all year?
We knew it. We knew it coming into it. I mean, so many things were on the table in this game. I mean, let alone we needed this game. This was a big game. Carl Weathers. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. I mean, that couple that with, of course, Aztec football. I want to say Mr. Nettles passed away, and also Claude Gilbert passed away. All recent, all within a very short span of each other. So just the weight of that, and to be able to honor them at some point when everybody's gathered together, that's a big thing when it comes to basketball games at Viejas. That's like the biggest gathering that we as Aztec Nation can have together to honor these people, these great Aztecs. So with Carl Weathers going down, you knew emotions were going to be high. The intensity was going to be high. We've been playing clips all the last few days, Rocky clips or, Predator clips. I know I watched Predator. I had to watch it, man. Great movie. Great movie. But, coming in with that emotion, being fired up, being charged up. And then, of course, all the Aztec alumni, Fiend. We got to see a lot of Aztecs for life in the basketball program. I see Sarah. It was loud. Sarah, what you all are doing with the pet band is amazing. They played, well, Top Gun song, Highway to the Danger Zone, and then the Rocky theme. But what'd you think, Fiend? I mean, you seen all those Aztec legends on the court at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I when we brought Jeremy Hemsley on the show, he said he was coming back. I didn't realize that they were having a celebration to honor all those, Aztecs for life at halftime. He didn't mention that, but I think that had to have some impact on the guys. I mean, you saw when that was one of my favorite parts of the game is when Micah Parrish hit that long, deep 3 from like the logo, and then he dials up the call me. And then he points at Adam Seiko in the stands, and Adam Seiko's just jumping up and down. It was awesome. I mean, just that relationship that they have, and those guys wanted to show out for the alumni, just to show that they've, that they're carrying on their legacy, winning tradition. And so kind of like almost like when we played, I mean, I wouldn't say it was quite as electric, but when the Kawhi Leonard retirement game when we played Utah State, that was something that those guys I know remember. Hey, we don't want to let Kawhi down. We want to get a victory, and so it just seemed kind of a similar vibe or feel to it. And I think it's just when we play Utah State too, because we've had 3 matchups now in the Mountain West Championship, and so or 4. No, we've had 4, right? I think recently. I mean, the last like 6
Yeah.
years or something like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some history between us and Utah
Yep.
State, and we don't like them. And you know, I was expecting some of the cow milkers to go act up in my section, but they were all well behaved. You know, I didn't see any of them with their
The blue
vinyl
gloves.
gloves, the blue gloves. No one had those, but um, they, yeah, I'm glad we sent them home with the loss.
Yeah.
You gonna hang out?
Wish.
Are you gonna hang out with them in Vegas?
I don't hang out with Utah State fans.
Oh,
No.
it's everybody else. Okay.
Yeah. No, there was one Utah State fan that was pretty cool. It was on my flight back in May, and you know, he was a student there from Colorado. I was going to Utah State, and he was like the one cool person that I've met from Utah State. But other than that, no, have no desire to hang out with those guys.
Second cool guy from Utah State.
Who's the second one? Oh,
Ashworth, of course. Come on.
Ashworth.
All right.
Yeah.
That's your boy, not mine.
Well, they're Mormon, man. They gotta have kids. They gotta make it for the Chinese. They're not able to have kids down there. You know what I mean? So they gotta have like more kids to make up for that.
Okay.
Sarah says 4 of the past 6. So she fact checked us on those Mountain West championships. Yeah, you know, Utah State, they're an interesting team. We love to hate them, but you got to respect them. They make really great hires. You know, Coach Sprinkle, he brought in his guys, like, you know, his Martinez, the point guard, or whoever the point guard was. I mean, he looked like he was 30 years old out there with, you know.
He is. It's like 6th year, I think.
Yeah. But going in the chat, I do love it. I think everybody's in favor of all these lineup changes. You know, the attitude, the shift, the confidence, the energy, everything was. It was a great game, great team win. I was very curious, as much everybody was, to see Ledee battle against Osmore down in the paint, and I think that was a really good battle. Really good battle. We collapsed on him a lot, and Ledee played within himself. You know.
I think they both played really well, and they kind of canceled each other out. You know, the difference was we hit a lot of threes in this game, and they didn't shoot very well. That was kind of the difference. Plus the free throws. You know, we shot a lot more free throws, and you know, we got some calls. We got some home cooking, and they got some calls too, some ridiculous ones, like when Ian Martinez stuck out his foot on that 3-pointer and he got fouled. Like, that was not a foul. Or the goaltend. So I mean, they got a couple of fouls. That's not what changed the game, but there's definitely, in the Mountain West, you're looking at the free throws that you shoot at home versus the free throws you shoot on the road. It's a glaring difference.
It really is. It kind of dictates both teams' attitude and aggressiveness. You know, it's kind of painting the picture of that's what you want when you're the home team. That's what the Mountain West is playing up, and you just kind of roll with it. But Utah State, what were they? 19-2, or only had 2 losses?
Yeah, 1 loss in conference. But you know what I really like, what this all leads up to, though, is, you know, the vacation home in March. Mountain West Conference Championship. That is like that's like a home environment for us. That's why we call it the vacation home. And so that's going to feel like a home game for us, all of our games there. And I think that's why we're so successful there. It's so tough to win on the road. And when you have an environment where, you know, there's a lot of loud Aztec fans in the crowd, it makes it difficult to win those games. And so, you know, and it's easier for us to win those games, and so that's what I'm looking forward to, is that neutral site. It's not really neutral; it's sort of ours. So, yeah, looking forward to it. But let's just focus on Air Force right now, right, Mike?
Oh no, I do not want to. Okay, we were debating if we were going to record tonight. Guys, Air Force, I wanted to record tonight because you know, it was an exciting game. It was a big win. But Air Force, guys, this is the one team, football or basketball, like I could do without these games. They're so boring. They're just, you know, it's just not going to be an entertaining game when you play Air Force, especially in Air Force. You know,
Can we just talk about Nevada instead? We'll just skip Air Force. I mean, no one
I
wants
like-
to talk about Air Force.
Hey man, you got to play that. You got to give some props to the academies and stuff like that. They're solid basketball players. They might not be at the athletic, but they're going to be fundamental, and it's a good test. It's a good thing for these coaches to say, hey, this is a fundamental team. You got to stick to your fundamentals, or you're going to get beat. Look at it. Didn't they just blow out UNLV at home? At UNLV. So these are you can't screw around with these teams, man. You know what I mean? Like they gave us a run for our money last year. So you can't. You got to
They're
respect
talented.
every team. Yeah, they're not. They don't make dumb mistakes typically.
They're disciplined.
You know what I mean? So, you got to respect them.
Talk about respect, Team Mac. Thank you for joining us earlier this week when we had our live stream with the ladies from the women's team. Unfortunately, they did not come out successful on Saturday, but that was a great time. Team Mac says USU fans, Utah State fans, tend to be more passive aggressive. They don't tend to be blatantly rude. Fiend, do you agree with that?
No, not at all. They're blatantly rude. They're blatantly rude. They've always been blatantly rude to me at the Mountain West Conference tournament, and no, I can't stand them.
Okay, he says Coach Sprinkle and the staff were respectful, did make excuses when interviewed. I get that. Okay. Lonzo Ball can do it all. What's going on? Utah State and New Mexico are legit. I think we are better than the rest. I agree with that. I think we're obviously better than Utah State as well. New Mexico is going to be a fun return trip. That's going to be a fun return trip. Everybody's marking that on the calendar.
Yeah.
Circling it.
I had it marked the day we played them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is when we go to Logan, I mean, this score could be totally flipped when we go to Logan. I mean, and they could come out 81-67 because they're playing at home with their crowd, getting the calls, and I respect Utah State, their team, and how good they are. They are a good team. They're a really good team, and Sprinkle's a great coach, and they're going to be tough to beat in the tournament. But like I said, that bench really kind of worries me. I don't know how they're going to do 3 games in 3 days.
Braden, thanks for joining in. It was good running into you, man. He says Osborne got a lot of points versus Jay, Elijah, and Heidi. So probably, we got to stay out of foul trouble. So those games on the road against them, maybe in the tournament, we got to stay out of foul trouble. But it's good to know we got some guys that can absorb, what he can do. I love that. Dutch compared. I assume you're talking about going to Air Force, like going to the dentist. That's exactly how I feel about that game. Ugh.
I mean, this is going to be wild, man. You have Utah State and Boise State 7-2, us, New Mexico 6-3, Colorado State, UNLV, Wyoming 5-4, Nevada 4-4. So you have 7 teams within 2.5 games of first place. I mean, this is going to be a dogfight, man. Like this is going to be an incredible end of the season because you got a lot of wild stuff coming up here, man. A lot of matchups coming up. And like I said, you can't, like, if you, like, I've always had that, I was growing up and stuff like that. My old man was like, just worry about you. And it finally clicked on me as I got a little older. It's like, if I'm worried about everybody else, I can't worry about me. Right. So if you just worry about what's ahead of you, everything else is going to happen. There's nothing you can control. You can't control a game of Utah State, Colorado State, or Utah State, Nevada. You can't do anything about it. What you can control is who you play and how you play against them, and then let the chips fall where they may. That's all you can do moving forward. So if we can steal a couple in a row here and then come back and play who do we play after we get back from Nevada?
Check this out. So in the next 5 games, right, up until February 20th. So we're at Air Force, elevation on the road, terrible place to play, horrible style. Then we got to go to Nevada, which we're going to be at, the Bat Cave on Friday night. Nevada is the stripe out now. They're doing the same thing that New Mexico's doing. So, they're making this their Final Four. They need that win too, because their metrics have fallen off. They've lost some games. They need that win badly against us. So that's going to be a really tough game in Reno. Then we come home, play Colorado State. That's
Mhm.
another tough one. New Mexico at home after that, and then we got to go to Logan. So that's our next 5 games, man. If we can get, I would say,
5-0.
I would love to go 5-0, man.
I'm
That would
saying
be
right here, we're
awesome.
going 5-0. We're going 5-0. We're going to take control of the conference. And if we don't, I was wrong. I blamed
5-0, 5-0. Yes, we'll win the conference. I think. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. If we go 5-0, the next 5 games, we'll win the conference.
Yeah. So you got Fresno State, San Jose State.
Yeah, it's pretty much wrapped up.
Right.
Wow. I loved one of the comments. They were saying, okay, they did the shakeup that was needed. Undefeated February coming up. I mean, that's not out of the question. It isn't out of the question.
Why not? Hey, Angelica, I think it's going to be like 54-42. I think it's going to be a low scoring game.
Thank you, Angelica. Thank you, Angelica, for the super sticker. That's a good reminder to everybody. Super chats are open. Any kind of thoughtfulness you want to do. And she asked, what do Mike and Fiend have the game score outcome against Air Force? What did you say, Mike? You want to repeat that?
I think like 55-42 or something like that. I think it's a low scoring game. It's not. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I could be right.
Ugh. Fiend, score predictions on Air Force.
I 48-42. I don't know. It's not gonna be pretty.
Man. Yeah, it's along those lines. It's along those lines. Hopefully, it's more scoring than that. I mean,
no, I'm gonna change my prediction. I'm gonna say it's 67-52.
What made you change that?
67, because I looked at the scores and they tend to
he's looking
score.
he's looking at KenPom
Yeah.
metrics. That's why.
No, I don't look at. I'm looking at their scores, and
metric
the lowest they've scored this year is 54.
Okay. Against who?
The worst score. Nevada.
Oh, we got way better defense than Nevada, dude. We're holding them to 30.
I know, but still, you know what I mean?
The key to Nevada is going to be like either shutting down Lucas or Blackshear. If you can shut down one of those guys in their home, then I think we have a good shot to win the game. But if both of those guys go off, or if like Lucas goes off for like 30 points, then it's going to be a rough road for us. That guy's hot and cold. Like there's games where everything he puts up goes in. So I need to be heckling him and doing whatever I can to throw him off his game at the Bat Cave.
So if you guys haven't figured it out through what Fiend and Mike are going back and forth again, and myself, we're not looking forward to this Air Force game. We just want to handle business because we are going to be heading to Reno with Mike. We're going to go visit him and knock on his door and go to that game together against Nevada. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward. So we're eager to get to that game. We shut those guys down. They beat us there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that can't happen again, man. Can't happen again.
Mm.
Oh, let's see. Just a little. Let's touch back a little bit on Jeremy in this game against Utah State because I feel like that interview was so awesome, and I've gotten a lot of responses from everybody. Thank you guys for checking that out. Our interview with Jeremy Hemsley, and we were excited that he was gonna be there for the first time. He was sitting down there, literally on the bench with Nolan Lorraine, sitting there like right next to the team. And that did me some good, man. That did me some good. Knowing that we spoke so openly and maturely and heartfelt with him. It was a big deal for him to be there again and to see that he arrived and they it's like you're gonna sit with the team. That made my day. That made my game. And it was appropriate because obviously he had spoken about his junior year struggling and his senior year not being a starter anymore. And now to see with this team, the shakeup and the attitude, I think after the game, the way the players responded to, some guys losing their starting spot, some others, like it was a perfect timing to talk about Germ and his experience and like the attitude in hindsight that he looks back on those years and okay, maybe you lost your starting spot, but the bigger picture, you know what I mean? And this team going forward, that's what it's all about. The bigger picture, the team the team.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like talking to him, man. Like he was very impressive, very, when you ask him like I was just thinking about it, is like you ask him, hey, what shoe do you like? He's like, oh, I like the 11s. Which one do you like? Like the interaction he has, not saying the other guys weren't like that, but he was a little more interactive and how'd you guys start the podcast and very inquisitive and stuff like that. And his maturation of understanding that you're not the main character in everyone's story, So when the coaches, like he said, he was upset about it, and then they moved on because they got other guys coming in as a 22-year-old kid, as an athlete. It's like, hey, it's all about you, right? Which is fine. But then as you get older, you realize, oh shit, it wasn't about me. They have other stuff going on, and sometimes I got to reach out instead of vice versa and stuff because they get going and stuff. So it was pretty interesting to hear that because as we get older, we realize that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking to him, man. I enjoyed talking to all the guys, but him especially. I'd love to hang out with him and just chat and stuff like that. If we get to see him again, hopefully in Vegas or something like that.
Yeah, I love the photo that he and Lamont took at the game, and it was in the same location that they took the photo when Lamont visited him at State when he was a sophomore. And Lamont was about, I don't know, 6 inches, 8 inches shorter than he is now. Little Lamont. That was just a really cool photo, and just shows the bond of the program. And I'm glad that he got a chance to sit with the team and feel connected again, right? Because he was sort of disconnected from Aztec basketball and from this family, right? And so getting that chance to bond with the team, who knows, maybe he talked to the guys and shared some of his story, and imparted some of that knowledge and that wisdom. But yeah, great to see him back there, and great to see all those guys that are Aztecs for life, man. I just I have such appreciation for the basketball that I've watched, as an Aztec fan, and love those guys. So great, just love it.
T-Mac, thank you again. We want to highlight his super chat quest. He says, Bird seems to bring extra energy to the game. I love how he ripped the ball away and dragged the USU player with it. Reese seemed to handle Lucas Fiend. I saw you agree with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he handled Lucas definitely when we played him in Nevada, or at home. So going on the road, I think that's going to be key. I know we're jumping ahead, past Air Force, but that's going to be a key that I'm looking forward to see, is that matchup and see how we defend him. But yeah, Bird. I was surprised that he ripped that ball away from that guy. I mean, Bird's not known to be a guy who's like really strong, and but you could tell he wanted it more. He wanted it more. And like we talked about with Jeremy Hemsley, and that's why I compared him to Miles Bird, just that energy that he brings on the court, that enthusiasm, it's infectious. It gets guys pumped up, it gets the crowd pumped up, and that's where we go on our runs, is when we're feeling it. And so I just love the energy that he brings, and I hope he continues to get minutes, and maybe get more minutes. I think he's definitely earned it.
Definitely reminds me of like that Jamal energy. I just think he's just going to keep flourishing, keep growing. Guys, we got a special guest for all you in the chat and watching us, joining us from home. This past couple weeks, been working with Mr. Jon Schaeffer from 760, trying to develop a NIL product. And for many of you guys who know John, he's got a act or a bit, a phrase that he likes to use anytime the Aztecs get a good victory. And so he approached us about making this NIL design. We put it together, and with the help of Aztec, the NIL department, and of course the Mesa Foundation, we created this shirt. And so we want to bring into the chat for the first time. You guys know him, we know him, we appreciate what he does. Mr. Schaeffer, how are you doing?
There
Thanks
we
for
go,
joining
man.
us, man.
That is quite the introduction, Mateo. I appreciate you guys. It's good to be with you. Love what you guys do, really do. Enjoy it as much as I possibly can. You guys are doing great work, so I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me.
Thanks,
Oh,
John.
man.
We really appreciate your work. We're big fans, and just glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I was excited. I mean, and we'll talk about it here, but I appreciate you guys. The catapult you bit that I do, like, which started, I don't even know. It's so funny. There have been people tweeting about it today, like how it even started, but it was like someone at the Mountain West Wire said a couple years ago, like, you think moving up 9 spots is a catapult because of something. I'm like, yeah, moving up 9 spots is like hard to do, dude. And that just kind of started it all. And I've just, it's just been really a stupid bit for the last couple of years, but
especially when we only go up one, ranking.
I'll say the catapult from 23 to 23. I think I've said that a couple of times. But it's been fun. It's been fun. I think people, I don't know, have enjoyed it. So it's been fun.
We guys could check it out. It's on sale right now. Don't mean to cut you off. It is on sale right now at sonsofmontezuma.com. You can pick up 2 different colorways. And like we said, all the proceeds are going to the Mesa Foundation. If you guys don't know, they are an official NIL collective recognized by San Diego State. So whatever the proceeds are, they're going to go towards the men's and the women's team. So they support all basketball, all Aztec basketball, which is, it's a really cool idea. We thank you for doing it with us, man.
Yeah, man. Good job on who's the designer? Mateo, is that you?
Yeah, that's what I do by trade. So
you do good. You do good work. Seriously, you did a nice job on that. If I designed it, it's like a clip art. I have no concept of it. I respect it because it's not easy. I know what goes into that, so I respect it. I know there's a lot of time and work and effort and creativity and time that goes into something like that. So all the work you guys do and all the logos and the marks and the NIL gear and Sons of Montezuma gear, keep doing what you're doing. It's really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All these guys have a hand in the creativity of what we do. They give me a lot of ideas. But man, okay. I appreciate you joining because, you've been out here in San Diego for quite a while now, really absorbed yourself into the Aztec community, Aztec Nation, and you're getting to see everything up close, this program, and really getting to follow the team. I mean, this team is they're changing every single game, but I love the direction they're going.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate to your point. I mean, I'm not a San Diegan. I didn't grow up a San Diego State fan. I'm not a San Diego State alum, but I feel myself I feel pretty fortunate to be able to do what I've done. I mean, I've been here 7 years, and from day one was doing San Diego State, like, football and basketball work on the radio as part of just our flagship agreement, like pregame and halftime and postgame. And it's just, things sometimes happen for a reason, just right place, right time. I mean, I couldn't be more fortunate. I mean, both football and basketball, truthfully. The basketball story is obviously, I mean, it's just top of mind because of all the successes they've had recently. Of course, the national championship run. My first season doing basketball was Brian Dutcher's first season as the head coach. Obviously, he'd already been here for, 16, 17, 18 years or whatever it was at that point. But I mean, it's an amazing story. I mean, this is not that anyone here doesn't know it, but just the San Diego State basketball story, really the San Diego State athletic story from this century. You look at what's happened here the last 20 plus years, it's a great story. I don't think people talk about it near enough, whether it's in San Diego or certainly nationally, no matter what the sport is or anything really about the successes of the university and the athletics department. But it's an amazing story. My buddy called the game on Fox on Saturday, Jason Benetti, who I worked in the minor leagues with for like 10, 11 years. He was actually at my wedding in 2011. But I told him, I did lunch with him today, and I'm like, the San Diego State story is a remarkable story. Like, I feel like it just gets glazed over a lot. Like, oh yeah, San Diego State's good at basketball. I mean, this program had no success until, I mean, by and large, there had been successful stories. We know that, obviously. There have been successful teams, but I mean, it's amazing the level of success this program has maintained in basketball. And to be fair, football has been really consistent for 15 plus years. So it's a great story. I'm privileged to have the opportunity to kind of follow along from my seat, and I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, we enjoy listening to you, man. I mean, you're, as growing up with, Jerry Coleman and then Ted Leitner, and now you're kind of, Teddy's kind of moving on, I guess, in a way, and you're kind of taking over. And, there's voices to your I guess, generations and stuff like that. And you've been great, man. Like, just hearing your voice on the radio, it's you feel at home.
I appreciate that, Mike.
And especially being from Pennsylvania, and my old man's from Pennsylvania, and there's commonalities like we talked about with Germany with synergy. But I'll tell you what, dude, I love Benetti. I absolutely love listening to him.
Really
when I heard him on the telecast with Jacobson, it goes back when he's in Maui with
Bill.
Walt,
he's sticking around. It's so funny you say. So Jason's in San Diego through the weekend because he's doing these NBA TV games with Walton from Walton's house.
Oh.
It's like a pay product. He's done it for the last 2 years, and they have like amazing guests. They have had like John Mayer on. They have the most the guests you'd expect to be on with Bill Walton during an NBA game.
Right.
And Jason kind of orchestrates it all. He's a brilliant broadcaster that you may or may not be able to get a full feel of when you watch one game on Fox. You know what I mean? It's not like Aztec fans are hearing him every single day of the week. He actually called I had him on the radio on Friday. He called I'd forgotten this. He called the San Diego State-Nevada game when Malachi Flynn and Jalen Harris just went at each other in Reno. And I don't remember the circle. I forget if San Diego State had already lost to UNLV, and that was later. If they were like 27-1, 28-1, I think they were. It was a really good Nevada team. Jalen Harris was terrific in that game. So was Malachi Flynn. And I'd forgotten he had called that game. It was an unbelievable game. I forget when it was. It might have been when they were still undefeated. It might have been when San Diego State had lost one game. But it's a long way of saying, I've known Jason since we were both 22, and I knew from the day I met him he was going to be a star in broadcasting, which is exactly what has happened. So it's been good to catch up and good to see him the last couple of days.
Yeah. I enjoy him on the Sox games too. I don't.
He's now with the Tigers. He actually just took the Tigers. I spent 8 years with the White Sox, but just switched. He's going to be in Detroit this year.
Good for him, man. Yeah, he's a good dude. And funny too. He's very animated and stuff. Yeah. So he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, John, back to your point about the just this level of success that we've had at San Diego State, in the since basically 2000. It really is remarkable, and I hope we as fans are not taking that for granted. I was talking to a friend of mine at the game on Saturday, and I said, man, I never want to go through what UNLV is going through. They have been basically irrelevant for like about a decade. We had Jamal Franklin on our show, and he was talking about that rivalry that they had with UNLV and how good they were and how he loved to play there. And he'd been playing in China, and it was like, I hate to break it to you, but they've kind of fallen off, And so we as Aztec fans, I mean, that was the premier program was UNLV,
Sure.
on the West Coast, among like sort of like the G5s, at the time, because I think they played in like the Big West when they won all those championships. But I mean, under Tark, I mean, they had just so much success in that string of success, and then they just fell off. And so we as Aztec fans, I think we really got to appreciate this sort of era that we are in of Aztec basketball and Aztec sports in general. And it's a golden age, and so enjoy it, enjoy the moment, even if we have bad losses, like,
dude, it's so well said.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Brian Dutcher's career record and you're like, are you serious? I mean, it's so true. I mean, social media, and you can't get overly enamored with it. And I actually appreciate the fanaticism. Like, you don't have the interest that you guys have, like at Sons of Montezuma or people that come to the radio or enjoy like my work, if not for the success of the program. And people have high expectations, which is a good thing. I mean, you don't want people to have low expectations, but you do have to have some level of like perspective and reason when it comes to college basketball. I mean, look around the country. Even the top of the country, teams lose. I mean, Purdue's gotten beat by a Northwestern or a Nebraska. And I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. I mean, there hasn't been an undefeated team in nearly 40 years now. And San Diego State actually almost had one a couple years ago. And shoot, I mean, imagine that. There could have been an undefeated San Diego State team. Yeah, there wouldn't have been an NCAA tournament, but it would have been like the first team in 35 years to do that if they beat UNLV at home, and if Sam Merrill doesn't hit that shot. Not to really cry over spilled milk, but I actually I was talking to KJ Fagan actually briefly yesterday just about the 2020 team. But I mean, this story is phenomenal, and this idea, they can't win on the road, and everyone's caught up to San Diego State, and all the things that you see. And I'm like, first of all, it's a good thing that the league is good. The other teams are trying to win too. they're tough buildings to win in. I mean, even when San Diego State wins in those buildings over the last decade or 2 decades, it's not like everyone goes to Colorado State and wins, or everyone goes to the Pit and wins. But San Diego State historically wins games at Moby. They've won games at the Pit. They win games, name the spot. They win in Boise. But, it's a good league. I think it's a good thing. You don't have to go perfect in the regular season. I think people forget that some of the questions you might have about this team right now are some of the similar questions you had about this team a year ago right now. And that doesn't mean they're going to end up in a national championship game. I mean, the tournament is completely unpredictable. But I think they've done everything you'd ask of this team to this point. I really do truly feel that way. I think that everyone is coming at them at the fullest extent, which is always the case, but I feel it even more right now. And, again, what's amazing is they just find ways to win games they should win and need to win, right? And they avoid losing streaks. And again, you kind of knock on wood with all of it, but could you really ask for more heading into the year than what they've been able to do to this point? To me, if you're being honest and realistic with it, considering what they lost, if you would have told me they'd be in this spot today, I'd say, let's start the season here. That's what I would say.
Yeah. In the big picture of things, that's one thing I love about what you do, man. Bring that perspective. You take Aztec sport. You take Aztec sports serious. You do your research, you do your homework, but you've given the coverage such a seriousness to it that it's legit, it's authentic. I recognized it since you first came out, and we really appreciate it, man. Just because, like you said, I mean, for so long, San Diego State basketball wasn't a winner. Well, now we've got over how many years of success now. It deserves to be taken serious in a certain regards, and you definitely hold it to that, man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, to kind of put a bow on it, it's just, I mean, I just feel like San Diego State, what it's accomplished, football and basketball, but if obviously it's basketball season and talking about men's basketball, it's like it should be held in the same regard as the premier programs in the country. And the fact that I even have to say it, it's almost annoying that I have to like defend it. Like, I'm not even sure what I'm defending. I don't even know who I'm speaking to when I defend it. Like, the numbers speak for itself. It's like when I was a play-by-play guy, and I am, but when I was like, working in minor league baseball, we always would say, the numbers talk. I mean, you don't have to say if a batter is 0 for his last 30, I don't need to say he's slumping. You're 0 for your last 30, and the listener understands it. That's not ideal. When you win 60% of the time against ranked teams, like Brian Dutcher has done, and that's top 5 in the country since he's been here as a head coach, it speaks for itself. So it's like, there's always going to be people that take exception to whatever. Oh, they don't play anyone. Oh, they play in the Mountain West. Oh, if they played in the ACC, or oh, they're not Gonzaga. There's always going to be haters, and those might be people with other programs or whomever. There's haters everywhere. Haters of the Yankees and right. I mean, all these teams and programs that have been the most successful in their sports. But honestly, I think that's actually a good thing because you're not getting that attention if you're not good. And that's San Diego State gets a lot of attention. It's only risen since I've been here. I mean, the level of attention is pretty incredible on these programs, the university, the athletics. So I think it's a good thing. I really do.
Yeah, it's I kind of look at it like a video game, man. If you're not going towards something and you see enemies, aka haters, you're probably not going the right way.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, especially what we all do. I mean, if you do content, if you spend time on the internet, if you try to, create content, I mean, you'll see that. And honestly, and I'm all for it. That's the truth. The funny thing is I'm 100% all for it. Very rarely will I get into something on social media where, like, I'll never block someone. I don't, unless someone's ridiculous, then I'll do. But by and large, I respect it. Or I'll tweet something out. I'm making it up. Lamont Butler, great drive. Oh, he can't hit free throws. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, why are we tearing down? I mean, why do you feel as if you need to tell me that this player can't do this or this person can't do that? What do you mean what they can't do? Have you seen what they can do? Have you seen what they've accomplished? Right. But again, it's a good thing, I would say. The level of expectation or excitement or fanaticism is a good thing. We forget these are 20-year-olds. These are 21-year-olds. And what they're accomplishing is truly incredible. I think back to what I was doing at 20, and it's nothing like any of these student athletes have accomplished, in any regard.
Yeah, it's incredible.
In any case, we just try to tell people enjoy it. Enjoy every single game. Enjoy every single memory moment. Know that, like what you said, these are young people playing a sport. They're playing a game, but they're also getting their education. So it's a growth process. It's part of the journey. Enjoy the ride.
No
That's one
doubt.
thing we do. We have been enjoying the ride as much as possible. You gonna go on live, man?
I'm gonna go live. I mean, it's crazy. You guys see. I mean, it's solo shows are interesting, but my pedigree, my background in play-by-play is a lot of solo work, which is an interesting line of work because it's a lot of talking to yourself. And it's not necessarily the best. I actually don't prefer it. I prefer, like a playoff someone, back and forth. I think it's better, but I don't know. It's just I love doing it. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And I had actually wanted to do it for years because I've been doing more YouTube work with like the Padres, like wrap-up show stuff and John and Jim. And I'm like, I have to do Aztecs. I have to do Aztecs, but I don't have time. And I have a wife and I have a child, but I have to do it. Like one of these things and I eventually this past summer, I'm like, I am doing it. It's like, I holding myself accountable. I'm like, I have to do it. So I'm doing it. So that's kind of why I started it, because I know there's people that are interested in the stuff that we all do. So that's why I'm doing it. And it's fun. I do it after wins. I do it after losses. I mean, I'm on the radio. I mean, I talk immediately after losses. Or immediately after wins, and you just kind of react to it and take it all in. And I've always enjoyed that. Reacting is my favorite part actually of the job. It's not previewing, it's reacting. I like reacting to things in real time, to be honest. Having an additional day on it, I don't prefer. I want to do it in real time. So that's what I do on the radio. But then with YouTube, sometimes I'll do it right after the radio, which is also not probably ideal because I'm just talking to myself crazy. But I enjoy doing it. I love reacting. I really do.
That's great, man. I'm glad you did it. We kind of had the same thing with Matt, like, because as you get older, later turns into never.
Yeah, it's like, it's what was I just listened to a podcast and I'll let you guys run now, but it was like, now, not how, just do it. You know what I mean? Forget about it. You'll figure it out. I mean, now, not how. I mean, I don't have bells and whistles. I got a microphone and I know what, and this is my career. So I'm just going to do it. I'll figure everything else out as I go along. But it's one of those things you just got to hold yourself accountable and do it. And you're right. I mean, there's only so much time in the day and there's only so many things you can do. But then again, it's like, what am I waiting for? I mean, I want to just do it. So that's why I'm doing it.
No, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. But for your viewers, very cool. Very cool.
T-Mac, thank you so much. It's you're meeting the need, man. You're meeting the need. There's a big need down here for Aztecs coverage, and you stepping up to the plate and doing it right. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it, guys. Be well. Continued successes with everything. For your viewers, check out the Catapult U t-shirt that's benefiting student athletes at San Diego State men's and women's basketball. And I know you guys have tons of stuff at sonsofmontezuma.com. So thanks again, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Peace.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right, there you have it. Everybody. We've been wanting to make that happen for quite a bit of time. So, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's a good dude.
It's cool because he came in, 2017, 2018, those years. And it was like right around the same time that we started the podcast on the football side. So, I just look back, I think back of those times. It's like, yeah, man, I think San Diego State knew that they needed to step up their coverage in certain areas, and they brought him in. And he's the right guy for sure, man. He does a phenomenal job. Very cool.
What I love about John too is he's not just a journalist, like he's a fan too. I mean, he loves basketball. I'll see him at the Swish League in the summer, because he wants to check out the new San Diego State players, and so it's awesome. Like when you got a guy who's that passionate about his work in broadcasting, but also is a fan too, and enjoys, just the game itself, and so. He's just a great guy to talk to.
Very cool. We'll be looking forward to hopefully reconnect with him another time, maybe before the Mountain West tournament or something like that, something like that. And I think he's going to be going live very, very, very soon on his channel. So you guys make sure you check that out as well. Guys, we got a little bit of rain coming this week. before we head out to Reno, I don't know if we're going to be watching Air Force anywhere around town. If anybody's wondering, thank you guys in the chat. And yeah, we've been working hard, and it's nice to have people partnering with us who are open and you know, like John, those that are they see what we're doing and they just want to contribute towards it and build towards it. So hopefully we have some more watch parties coming up. I know that SDSU Official has on Friday, they are having their watch party at Alesmith. So if you guys want to watch that game against Nevada anywhere in San Diego, Alesmith, that's a great place. Definitely see a lot of familiar faces and all that good stuff. Guys, any thoughts before we call it a night? I know we had some Grammy heat, man. What happened with the Grammys tonight, dude? I was watching that before here, dude. What happened with Killer Mike? He got arrested. What did he do? He slapped somebody on stage?
No, I don't know, dude. He just got arrested. Like he was like getting cuffed after he won 3 Grammys. So, I mean, I don't know, man. You have a name like Killer Mike. I don't know how legit. You know what I mean? Like maybe he's. I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on with the music industry, but it's interesting.
He won 3 Grammys.
Did they walk him away in cuffs with his Grammys?
I don't think he had them with it. I don't think he's allowed to take those with him to the hold up. You know what I mean?
Dude, if his name was Fresh Prince, they would not have arrested him.
Maybe he got involved with Mike Prince from Billions. Maybe he was arresting him from that. Did you ever watch Billions? Oh, dude, it's a great show. So you have to watch that. If I'm gonna watch Breaking Bad, you got to watch Billions. So, but like I don't know. And then Olivia Rodrigo with that, I don't know what the fuck that was, dude. That was some sacrificial shit or something like that. But whatever, dude. So, but yeah, the Grammys. I don't know, man. I watch it for the music, you know. But
yeah, more.
What was that?
You guys are both level. Anyways, great show. Glad to have John on. Glad to hang out with you guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys on Thursday night. I think some of our boys are going to be up here on Friday, so we'll tailgate before the game, 5:00, at the Lawler Bat Event Center.
The Bat Cave.
Yeah, and so we'll have some fun, man. It'll be exciting. Harper's excited to see Uncle P and Uncle Mateo up here, so we'll have a good time.
On the next episode of Lawler Event Center, there's a bat in my house.
All right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Everybody, go check out John's show. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys very soon next time with a report from the Bat Center. We'll be wearing our bat capes.
Yes. Thank you everyone for joining. Thanks, John, for coming on. That was cool. It's good to see him and stuff. So, hey, go Aztecs. Stay safe down there in the rain and stuff like that. So, be smart.
Will do. Looking forward to seeing you on Thursday night.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. Pick you up in the snow.
And make sure you go get that Catapult U t-shirt. It's on sale now. Limited time. Exclusively only at sonsofmontezuma.com. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs. Beat Air Force.
And Nevada.